I didn't expect the word friend to cut this deep. It wasn't the sound of laughter, the clinking of champagne glasses, or the scent of roses and champagne that did it. It was her voice. Her voice, light and casual, carrying across the wedding hall like it had never belonged to me. "This is Daniel," she said, smiling too easily. "He's just a friend. Just a friend." The words burned worse than any slap could. I stood there, glass in hand, frozen somewhere between disbelief and heartbreak. The bride, my ex-wife Claire, stood beside her new husband, her fingers gently resting on his arm, the same way they used to rest on mine when she wanted me to feel like I was home. And all I could think was, how the hell did we get here? 2 years earlier I would have laughed if someone told me this would be us. Her in a white gown, but not for me. Me standing in the crowd pretending to be okay. Claire and I had met in the most ordinary way. 2 co-workers at a design firm who accidentally shared a cab after a client meeting. She was late for yoga, I was late for nothing, and somehow we both ended up talking the entire ride. She laughed at my sarcasm, and I couldn't stop watching the way her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. I fell hard. Ours wasn't a movie kind of love. It was the quiet, lived-in kind. Coffee on rainy mornings. Midnight grocery runs. Fighting about bills and ending up laughing in the dark. For 7 years she was my best friend, my anchor. Until one day she wasn't. Started small. The late nights at work. The phone turned over during dinner. The laughter that wasn't shared with me anymore. "New project stress," she'd say, rubbing her temples, giving me that tired smile. "You know how clients are." And I wanted to believe her. God, I needed to believe her. Because loving Claire was like breathing. I didn't know how to stop. Then one night she left her laptop open on the counter. I wasn't snooping, I swear I wasn't. But a notification popped up. His name, Ethan. A string of messages scrolled up before my eyes could look away. "Last night was perfect. He's still suspicious. Don't worry. I'll tell him soon." My world tilted. I read the messages again, hoping I'd misunderstood. But the truth hit me with the cruel simplicity of betrayal. It wasn't stress keeping her late. It was him. When she came home that night, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her and said, "You could have told me." She froze, mascara smudged, her lips parting like she'd forgotten how to breathe. "Daniel, please. It's not what you think." But it was. It was exactly what I thought. The days after were a blur of half-truths and whispered apologies. She said she didn't mean for it to happen. That she'd felt lonely. That we'd grown distant. And maybe we had. Maybe between the endless hours at work and my obsession with saving for a future, I'd stopped noticing her fading smile. But she didn't just drift away. She ran into someone else's arms. I asked her once quietly, "Was it love?" She hesitated. That was all the answer I needed. We divorced 6 months later. No drama, no shouting. Just 2 signatures ending what once felt unbreakable. She moved out. I stayed behind in the house that now echoed like an empty church. The night after she left, I sat on the floor, staring at the marks her furniture left on the carpet. It's strange how even the smallest things remind you of someone. The mug she always used. The faint scent of her perfume on the curtains. The quiet. God, the quiet. I tried to move on. I really did. I focused on work, on running, on anything that could fill the hollow space where she used to be. Then one morning an invitation arrived. It was white with gold lettering. Elegant, tasteful, exactly her style. "You are cordially invited to celebrate the wedding of Claire Bennett and Ethan Ross." For a long time I just stared at it. I should have thrown it out. I should have deleted her name from my life the way she had deleted me from hers. But some masochistic part of me needed to see her again, to prove to myself that I was over it. So I went. The wedding was held in a vineyard just outside the city. Sunlight spilled across the fields, music floated through the air, and laughter surrounded me like a language I no longer understood. And there she was, radiant in white, her hair pinned with pearls, smiling like the world had never broken her heart. When her eyes met mine across the crowd, something flickered. Guilt, maybe. Or just surprise. After the ceremony, she approached me. "Daniel," she said softly. "You came." I forced a smile. "Wouldn't miss it." There was a pause. The kind where 1,000 unspoken words fight to be heard. "I'm glad you're here," she said. "It means a lot." Did it? Or was I just a relic from a past she'd buried? Before I could respond, a group of her new in-laws walked over. Claire turned to introduce me. Her voice suddenly lighter, practiced. "This is Daniel," she said. "Just a friend." Just a friend. The words slammed into me, stealing my breath. 4 years I'd been her confidant, her husband, her person. And now, in a room full of strangers, I was nothing but a polite label. I smiled, though my chest ached. "Funny," I said quietly. "You were my whole life once." Her smile faltered. For a split second, something cracked in her eyes. Regret, pain, maybe both. But she quickly masked it, letting out a small, nervous laugh. "Daniel." I shrugged, finishing my drink. "Relax. It's your day." Then I walked away. I spent the rest of the evening outside, under the string lights, watching couples dance and laugh. The night air was warm, but I felt cold. That's when someone sat beside me. A woman around my age, holding a half-empty glass of wine. "Rough night?" she asked. I smiled faintly. "You could say that." She tilted her head. "You were with her once, weren't you?" I looked at her, surprised. Was it that obvious? Only to someone who's been there. She smiled sadly. "My ex got married last year. I showed up too. Thought I'd feel closure. Instead, I just felt forgotten." Her honesty disarmed me. We talked for a while about love, loss, and how people move on while you're still learning how to breathe without them. When she left, she said, "You'll be okay, you know. Maybe not today, but one day." And I believed her. As I drove home that night, the road lights flickered over the windshield like memories passing by. Bright for a moment, then gone. I thought about Claire. About the years we shared, the promises we broke, and how sometimes love doesn't die. It just changes shape. Maybe she'd found what she needed. Maybe I would too. But what stayed with me wasn't the image of her in a white dress, or the sound of her laughter. It was the quiet realization that I'd survived it. Love had ended. The world hadn't. And somewhere inside that pain there was something close to peace. A few weeks later I got a message from her. "I'm sorry for what I said that day. You weren't just a friend. You were everything. I just didn't know how to face it." I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I typed back. "I know. But some things don't need fixing, they just need letting go." I hit send. And for the first time in a long while, it didn't hurt to do so.